everyone, and welcome to MeowMix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
My name is Jerry.
And after a little bit of an absence, we are back, and we're ready to talk some Panthers football. We're going to go over the current depth chart for the team today. We're going to look at, this year's depth chart versus where the Panthers started 2020 and the changes. Are there upgrades? Are there downgrades?
Starting left defensive end, it has listed Hassan Reddick, then Morgan Fox, Marquise Haynes, and Kendall Donnerson. Sorry. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Very happy.
Agreed. That last year, I think it was Weatherly. Now, Pro Football Reference has Brian Burns listed as last year's left defensive end and Weatherly as the right defensive end. So we'll just call it defensive end.
Yeah.
So Weatherly was the starting last year. Hassan Reddick is a massive upgrade.
Absolutely.
Weatherly. Yeah.
Over Weatherly or Etor, who was supposed to. I mean, Hassan Reddick had a really great year last year. Hopefully we'll have another one, especially with Brian Burns. We're going to go ahead and say Brian Burns is on the other side. I mean,
yeah, of course.
Which one of those are you going to really, on passing downs, are you going to really focus in on?
Yeah, and then Morgan Fox was a really sneaky good signing by the Panthers kind of later in the free agency period. And he could easily start a few games if need be.
And he can also slide into defensive tackle on obvious passing downs, like third and longs.
Yep. He's got some of that flexibility. And then Marquise Haynes has shown flashes.
Mm-hmm.
If Marquise Haynes is your third guy in line, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Left defensive end, massive upgrade.
Yep. Just going over the other defensive end, Brian Burns, where I said, and then Etor Gross-Matos, Christian Miller, who missed all of last year. He opted out. And Austin Larkin. This is probably the strength of our defense now, is that defensive end pass rushing ability. I could see wrecking some havoc on some quarterbacks with that group.
Agreed. And again, like Christian Miller showed flashes in his rookie season.
Yep.
And I think he can play some linebacker as well. But Gross-Matos, again, showed some flashes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe better suited as a backup or a guy that comes in, to spell someone and just comes in and brings a lot of energy. Again, I don't know. I guess this would be an upgrade if you're saying Gross-Matos is the backup and not on the other side of the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd be fine with that.
Again, we're gonna do defensive tackles all together.
Yeah,
they have Bravion Roy starting over Daquan Jones, and I think that's just a fabrication.
That's odd. Yeah.
Derek Brown, obviously starter, had a good rookie season. Bravion Roy had a solid rookie season, but I don't see him as starting defensive tackle.
Just say Daquan Jones, if they're starting two defensive tackles, if this is a 4-3, then Daquan Jones he is a starter and he's going to play a lot.
Yeah. And then Davion Nixon, draft pick who fell down.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that pick too.
Yep.
Then Mike Panasiuk and Phil Hoskins.
Yeah.
Another draft pick. Over last year, upgrade or downgrade or push?
So we lose KK Short. We lose Zach Kerr.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Kerr on such a cheap contract. Like we talked about how much we disliked them moving him. I'm going to say upgrade because year 2 of Derek Brown will be better than year 1. And then Daquan Jones is an upgrade over Zach Kerr. And, KK at his best is better than Daquan Jones, but KK is not at his best anymore.
I concur. That's exactly what I was going to say is an upgrade. Pretty much same reasons. I also think Davion Nixon may be a very, very surprising great pick for us.
Yeah, this was, defensive tackle just a few weeks ago, you and I were really scared about
Yeah.
what they were going to do, because really Derek Brown and Bravion Roy were the only guys around. So
Yeah.
they've done a good job filling out that spot. It's no longer the huge weakness that we thought it would be.
No, and they filled it out nicely without using much capital in finances or in draft picks.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go over to outside linebacker, weak side linebacker. It has Shaq Thompson starting. No questions. He's got the starting job.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie Louvu and Chris Orr.
Let's maybe we'll go through the whole linebacker core together.
Middle linebacker has Denzel Perryman, Patty Fisher, and Julian Stanford, who just resigned.
Oh, Patty Fisher.
And strong side linebacker, Jermaine Carter, Jeremy Chin, and Clay Johnston. I don't know how I feel about this group.
Yeah.
I like Denzel Perryman. I like Jermaine Carter. I like Shaq Thompson. But I don't think I guess the problem is they're not the linebacking core of the Carolina Panthers in previous years.
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, they're not those guys. But when you're comparing it to Shaq Thompson and Tahir Whitehead from last year,
upgrade.
It's a big upgrade. If Denzel Perryman can stay healthy, he's a Pro Bowler. I mean, he's that good, I think. And then Jermaine Carter had a really nice first season.
Yeah. Once he replaced Tahir Whitehead, that defense looked so much better because there wasn't that big gaping hole in that defense like it. And Jeremy Chin, again, he's just going to float around. He's going to do his float around, be awesome wherever he goes player.
Jeremy Chin is going to be, again, they've got him listed as the backup linebacker, but they've got him listed as a starting safety. So he's going to be wherever he's going to be. This defense is going to be amorphous would be the word. They're going to be positionless, I think, in a lot of places. Hassan Reddick's going to play some linebacker. Like, there's just going to be a lot of interesting
Brian Burns too.
On.
He's played linebacker.
They've got athletes all over the field. So overall linebacking core, like we said, like when you remove Tahir Whitehead, you add Perryman, then I think it's an automatic upgrade. So everything else is very similar.
Yeah.
To last year.
Perryman, it could be another good signing this offseason if he could stay healthy. When he's played well. Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's not played a whole season in his career. So we're hoping that he will stay healthy. This is the season.
Now we're going to go to the cornerbacks. We have Dante Jackson starting one side and J.C. Horn starting the other. Then we have Rashawn Melvin, A.J. Bowie, Keith Taylor, Troy Pride Jr., Miles Hartsfield, Stanley Thomas, Oliver III. J.C. Horn, maybe not the pick I wanted at 8. I think he's going to be a good player. I think hopefully he could be that lockdown corner that you want to draft there. I like having a solid backup in A.J. Boye. I don't know who's going to take that slot corner, though. Troy Pride struggled last year. Maybe Keith Taylor, but again, he was a late round draft pick. Miles Hartsfield made this team last year due to special teams and being a extra running back.
Losing Corn Elder was a miss, I think, for this team. It would have been nice to have kept him around.
You tell me that last offseason and I would have laughed in your face, but you're absolutely correct.
Yeah. So Rasul Douglas, also not, the mainstay at corner last year, no longer on the team. I do think that there is still work to be done for cornerback depth here. Now, AJ Bouye is suspended the first two games of the season, so they're going to have to be there's going to be a string. If these are the guys, that's J.C. Horn and Dante Jackson are going to have to play a lot in the first couple weeks of the season. But J.C. Horn may not be ready to start week 1. Like, he's a rookie, so we'll have to see
Your
We're
eighth
hoping
pick
that
in the
he comes in
draft. I'm
as a
sorry,
starter.
but he's gonna have to get out there right away.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I hope he is. I really hope he's ready to start. But
If you're picked in the top 10, there's not that time that they typically give you. Only quarterbacks get maybe a few weeks off
yeah,
before.
I mean,
being
I
pushed
agree.
out there.
I think that he was drafted to be the starter. Overall, yeah. I don't know. What do you think? I'm gonna let you go.
I'm gonna
first on
go
this one.
upgrade. I mean, last year, Russell Douglas, even though he played really great at the beginning,
Yeah, he fell off
but
hard.
I think J.C. Horn's a better. He better be a better quarterback than Russell Douglas.
Yeah.
And Dante Jackson's still out there. And Dante Jackson, he played really well except for that toe injury.
Right. The toe injury definitely derailed him. We were both very pleased with how well he played. And he's in a contract year this year. So that always seems to make guys play harder. I'm going to go slight upgrade just
I'm gonna go
because
upgrade.
I think depth wise, if assuming all was healthy last year, I think they were a little deeper. But AJ Bouye basically coming in and taking the Corn Elder spot in terms of just 1-for-1, I think is at least a push. I would have easily said upgrade before last year, but Corn played well last year. So, yeah, I'll go slight upgrade.
Yeah, I'm going upgrade. Safety position. We have Jeremy Chin, strong safety, and Justin Burris starting. I think that's the same way they were last year. Backing them up is Kenny Robinson, Sean Chandler, Sam Franklin, Jalen Julius, Lano Hill, JT Ibe.
Yeah, so I mean, Trey Boston obviously was a starter last year.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then
Sorry.
Chin was sort of a linebacker mostly. So yeah, I mean, you're basically replacing Trey Boston with Burris essentially, and then moving Chin into the strong safety spot. So Trey Boston was not good last year.
No.
And Justin Burris was okay. He was solid.
I don't even think he was that good. I think he struggled a lot, but
yeah, he made some plays. But yeah, overall he wasn't great.
And Jeremy Chin, as much as we love Jeremy Chin,
yeah,
his worst attribute last year was pass coverage.
Right.
So
he missed a decent amount of tackles last year, which you want your safety to be able to tackle.
So this worries me. I really like Kenny Robinson coming out last year, but he didn't show me anything. So I can't.
I think he was hurt. He was hurt a lot last season too. But
Sam Franklin was a pleasant surprise.
But even still, didn't play a ton.
He's the guy you're happy to be a backup, not a starter.
Right. This is definitely the weakness of the defense.
Absolutely.
And we knew this coming in. And I think if they're going to focus on one spot outside of left tackle, it needs to be safety. They need to upgrade the safety position big time.
Yep.
Even so, I'm going to say push for this position because I don't think they were very good last year coming in. And then Chin, obviously I like Chin a lot more than Trey Boston, but as the safety in particular, I don't know. I think he's not going to play that position a ton.
I'm kind of worried that forcing him to that strong safety position instead of letting him continue that outside linebacker joker role he had last year. I hope it doesn't hurt his the way he
production,
played.
Yeah.
But that's my deep concern.
Yeah. He could come in and just be amazing at that spot. And that would be great. But you're taking him away from what he was great at last year, or showing flashes of greatness, I should say.
He should have been defensive rookie of the. Well, I get Chase Young's argument, but he was a legitimate defensive rookie of the year candidate.
For sure. I think he finished second, right?
Yeah,
so
he did.
He was there. So overall defense, upgrade or downgrade?
Upgrade. Yeah. That pass rush is scary.
Yeah.
That defensive line is going to be scary.
Yeah. And this defense got better as the season went on last year. There were some rough games.
Absolutely.
But towards the end of the season, they played really well. So I'm agree. Like, this is the strength of the team right now, in my opinion, is the defense. Special teams is the same as it was last year. There's no differences, other than maybe kick and punt return. We'll see how that works out. But the main guys are all the same. So we're going to call that a push. So yeah, I mean, this is what it is right now. Obviously, some of this is going to change as the offseason moves forward and guys get cut. I just saw that one of the Washington tackles got cut today,
Morgan Moses.
So there will be more guys like that are cut for salary cap purposes, and who knows what the starting roster is going to look like, but it's going to look very similar to what we just went through, assuming health.
Yeah. Overall, what do you think this team's biggest strength is? What position group, I should say?
Well, I think the team overall, I guess I'd have to say defensive end.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say wide receiver as a close second, but yeah, the pass rushers are going to be nasty.
I 100% agree with you. Because I think you can even go down on a situation where you put Morgan Fox or Ettore Gross-Matos in that defensive tackle position sometimes and just get after whoever's the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, Marquise Haynes as well. Another guy that has shown flashes. So you can shuffle some of these guys in and give Burns and Reddick a breather and not lose a ton.
And don't forget, Derek Brown, I think, either led the league or was close to defensive tackle quarterback pressures last year.
Yeah.
He didn't get the sacks.
A lot of sacks, but yeah.
So
he got to the quarterback. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And then I think weakness we know, is safety, right?
Safety and quarterback.
And quarterback, yeah. And again, quarterback is Sam Darnold could come in with a change of scenery and light it up. That's what we're hoping happens. Or left tackle. You could also say left tackle in that weakness spot.
Oh, so many questions. So many.
On the offense, man, I'm serious. Like left tackle and quarterback they're gonna go together. If that left tackle is bad, then Sam Darnold is not gonna have a chance to be good.
And the problem is they had options in the draft to get a really good left tackle, but
you could have gotten a starting left tackle in the second round.
Absolutely.
Instead of trading back so many times. And now they traded back a lot. They got a lot of quality players. But would you rather have a starting caliber left tackle and not have Terrace Marshall and Tommy Tremble on the team? I think I would.
Yeah, I would too. But we're not the GMs.
We're not GMs. So I think we kind of talked about it. What do the Panthers still need to add was kind of our last thing here. And I think we've discussed that in depth. So
all right. Is there any last words before we sign off today?
No. I think we've covered it all.
All right. We want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. If you have any suggestions for off-season shows, email us because we're gonna start struggling pretty soon with until training camp starts. And if you leave us a 5-star review with a comment on Apple Podcasts, we'll read it on our show.
But yeah, Jerry mentioned it, but everybody please go to iTunes or Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to this show and give us a 5-star review or write a review for us. It really helps kind of move us around in the recommendations and things like that. It truly does help. And check out our YouTube page, MeowMix Podcast on YouTube. Got a lot of new listeners there, viewers, I guess. So that's always fun. Jerry puts those together and does a great job. So check that out. Until the next podcast, everybody stay safe out there and keep pounding.